I'm Steve Futterman in Jackson, Wyoming.
Harriet Hageman has received the most votes.
Liz Cheney goes down to a resounding defeat in her Republican primary battle, insisting to the end that she will never support Donald Trump's lies.
2 years ago, I won this primary with 73% of the votes. I could easily have done the same again, but it would have required that I go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election.
The Cheney defeat shows Donald Trump's influence continues inside the Republican Party. He wanted Liz Cheney out, and the Republican voters did just that. I'm Steve Futterman in Jackson, Wyoming. Now with more CBS News, here's Deborah Rodriguez.
Alaska also held a primary last night. CBS News projects Republicans Senator Lisa Murkowski, Kelly Tshibaka, and Sarah Palin will all advance to general elections. Democrats call it
the most important bill we have passed in a long time.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer reacting after President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law. It was approved in the House and Senate with no Republican support. GOP lawmakers say it's a tax and spending spree. Democrats say it'll fight climate change and lower health care costs. They'll be paid for with new taxes on billion-dollar companies. While Americans feel the pinch of inflation, it's even worse overseas. Correspondent Vicki Barker has the story from London.
Inflation here in the UK has just hit double digits, 10.1%. Rising food and fuel prices driving much of that. And with 2 more energy price hikes expected between now and January, inflation's expected to surge even higher.
Back here in the U.S., the western droughts become so severe the federal government has declared the Colorado River water shortage the worst on record. It triggers automatic cuts to the supply for Arizona and Nevada. Tanya Trujillo is with the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation.
Without prompt, responsive actions and investments now, the Colorado River and the citizens that rely on it will face a future of uncertainty and conflict.
Experts say if reservoirs hit what's called a dead pool, water won't flow under the Glen Canyon or Hoover dams, choking off the supply from Phoenix to L.A. Many Kentuckians dealing with the devastation from deadly flooding are being denied federal disaster aid or getting very little. Jeff Noble is Breathitt County's judge executive.
People lost everything they've got, and they go over and they're getting turned down, and $500 and $178. I mean, it's just a slap in the face.
FEMA has rejected about half of aid applications. S&P futures down 30. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
Gas prices have been falling steadily, but marine fuel is still expensive.
I'm Peter King in Alexandria Bay, New York. When marine dealer Jim Stewart shut down his gas pumps last December,
I was at $2.37 a gallon.
When he reopened in April,
I was at $6 a gallon.
And his price went to more than $8 a gallon before dropping to about $7. For some people, it's not a big deal.
We're in an area here where there's people that have made their money and had their money.
But for voters like Rich Topol, it meant big changes.
Take short trips where we go out.
If you're searching for a healthy snack, ice cream may be a decent option. New study from Tufts University finds it's the healthier choice over both granola and a multi-grain bagel. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Waiting is such a mistake. That's one of the things we do most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At Montgomery Men's Health, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. At Montgomery Men's Health, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at Montgomery Men's Health, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have a full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you get a medical consultation, blood work, and a medically advised testos. Call today, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663, or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. It must be vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states. Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Savings competition winner Katie Pruitt.
I was very confused by budgets, and what I realized, I was trying to make a lasagna and start with the noodles on the bottom, and I was ending up with crusty noodles. So once I started with the sauce of what I was spending, for some reason then it clicked. We were able to use the budget as a tool.
Stacking Benjamins. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
And here we go.
Your WSFA
Here we go.
weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by
1440.
New blinds or shades. Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Back to a rainy pattern here. We'll have scattered rain showers and a few thunderstorms as early as this morning, but most of that holds off until this afternoon and this evening. Even some scattered showers and storms tonight, which during the summer, you don't often get overnight rain and storms, but over the next few days, we will have just that. More scattered showers and storms Thursday night, Friday night, and the upcoming weekend. As a result of the rain, though, temperatures come down into the 80s. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. Your Wednesday, hump day, kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving smoothly into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from Selma, and 231 south out of the Central north out of Troy, still carrying light traffic. Medical billing and coding classes begin September 13th, and pharmacy technician begins September 19th. Trenton State. You may qualify for WIAO funding. Trenton State. Call them today, 420-4240. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros. Chico's has you covered with Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and 0 down options.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Wednesday. The landmark Inflation Reduction Act is now law.
Yeah, it sure is. And we're really gonna get screwed.
Will reshape much of the American economy. It represents the largest climate investment in American history and makes major changes to health policy by giving Medicare the power to negotiate the prices of certain prescription drugs for the first time. First Lady Jill Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. White House officials say she tested positive Monday during her regular routine testing and soon began developing symptoms like a cold. The First Lady has been in South Carolina vacationing with the president. She will remain there in isolation. And the Navy's latest guided missile destroyer is now named after a former Alabama congressman, Jeremiah Denton. He is a Vietnam veteran serving in the Navy for 34 years. In 1980, he was elected to the U.S. Senate in Alabama. That's your news on this Wednesday. I'm Judd Davis in the newsroom.
Summer is here, so get out and enjoy the sun. At Tallahassee, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy with the Make This the Summer event. The all-new Grand Wagoneer is here and ready for you and the great family fun. Summer is a blast in a new Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger with 0% APR for 72 months. Make this the summer. Hop online. We're here by chat, text, and phone to help you. TallahasseeAutomotive.com. Drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit plus finance from Chrysler Capital. 13.88 for $1,000 finance. Deal retains all factory setup. See you at the detail.
Matt Parsley here, your friend in the car business. Did you know that the average value of a new car plummets in the first week? Why wait 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to get your new car when you can buy a like new car and save thousands? At Budget, there's no new car depreciation. Budget buys in volume, and that enables us to pass the savings on to you. Unlike other dealers, you can shop nearly every make and model, side-by-side comparison. They look like new, they drive like new, so why pay the difference if you can't tell the difference? Find simple interest loans with no prepayment penalties, 100% credit approval. And if you want to sell your car, we'll buy it on the spot. No trade-in required. We'll find someone to love it like a first date. We guarantee we'll find it a good home. College student, first-time buyer. We buy cars, we buy trucks, we buy vans, we buy SUVs on the spot. 15 minutes or less, up to $2,172 over Kelley Blue Book value. Get budgetized and become part of the Budget family. 61 Mendel Parkway or 508 McQueen Smith Road, Prattville. Online, buybudgetonline.com. That's buybudgetonline.com.
Shannon, how many lots of people in Montgomery know about what Daddy does? You mean tell people he was a doctor? Yeah, a podiatrist. There's gotta be a way to spread the word about the surgeries he does and stuff. You mean like bunions and hammer toes? Yeah, and treating heel pain, burning in the feet, and corns. Like that time that lady had fungus in her toenails and they started looking better? I just want people to know that my dad, Dr. Brian Kelly, can be seen without a referral and he accepts most insurances. You should probably give them the phone number, 265-7585. Yeah, 265-7585. I just said that. Well, let's say it again. 265-7585. Maybe we should tell them our offices are in Montgomery and Greenville. You just did. Like us on Facebook at Greenville Foot Care. And remember, happy feet start here.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Waiting was such a mistake. That's one of the things we hear most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At Montgomery Men's Health, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. At Montgomery Men's Health, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at Montgomery Men's Health, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have a full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you get a medical consultation, blood work, and a medically advised attestos. Call today, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Sometimes you need to reset. Refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver.
Much better.
This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Good
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day above ground and not having the ground above you. It is a great day to be alive. It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high, something to change your perspective or give you a new one. Whichever, it is all good for the soul. Good morning to you. It is August the 17th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled, The Making of Me. Our scriptural insight today comes from Acts 15, 36 through 40. Acts 15, 37 through 38 says, Barnabas wanted to take John with them, but Paul did not think it was wise to take him. Govern yourselves accordingly. Again, it is August the 17th, 2022 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is also a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day, but you didn't. And more importantly, you don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. If you have lived a while, like I tell you every morning, you've seen and you've heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, hopefully you'll reach back and help somebody else along the way for as long as you can, while you can, until you can't. Benjamin Elijah Mays said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. We all do. But don't ever give up. Don't quit. Don't ever stop moving forward. Because quitters, they don't win. And winners, well, they may fail at a thing or two. They never quit. They keep moving. And you know, there's always some help around if you ask. Question is, can you humble yourself enough to ask? There's always somebody that will give you a helping hand. And no matter what happens this day, remember this. This day, like all the others, it is a great day to be alive. August the 17th, the making of me. That is our daily bread for this day. Good morning, dear Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine.
Welcome to today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional. Our reading titled, The Making of Me, was written by Allison Keita. 7-year-old Thomas Edison didn't like or do well in school. One day, he was even called addled or mentally confused by a teacher. He stormed home. After speaking with the teacher the next day, his mom, a teacher by training, decided to teach Thomas at home. Helped along by her love and encouragement and his God-given genius, Thomas went on to become a great inventor. He later wrote, "My mother was the making of me. She was so true, so sure of me, and I felt I had someone to live for, someone I must not disappoint." In Acts 15, we read that Barnabas and the Apostle Paul served together as missionaries until they had a major disagreement about whether or not to bring along John Mark. Paul was opposed because Mark had earlier deserted them in Pamphylia. As a result, Paul and Barnabas split. Paul took Silas, and Barnabas took Mark. Barnabas was willing to give Mark a second chance, and his encouragement contributed to Mark's ability to serve and succeed as a missionary. He went on to write the Gospel of Mark and was even a comfort to Paul while he was in prison. Many of us can look back and point to someone in our life who encouraged and helped us along our way. God may be calling you to do the same for someone in your life. Whom might you encourage? Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Acts chapter 15, verses 36 through 40. Sometime later, Paul said to Barnabas, "Let us go back and visit the believers in all the towns where we preach the word of the Lord, and see how they are doing." Barnabas wanted to take John, also called Mark, with them, but Paul did not think it wise to take him, because he had deserted them in Pamphylia and had not continued with them in the work. They had such a sharp disagreement that they parted company. Barnabas took Mark and sailed for Cyprus, but Paul chose Silas and left, commended by the believers to the grace of the Lord. Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for walking alongside us and placing people in our life who help to make us who we are today. Help us to do the same for others. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Rochelle Traub, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well,
Lord. Oh, kid. Who?
airborne.
Here we go. Here we go.
Time to rise and shine. Time to rise and shine, people. All right, let's get it. To the sun. Not yet.
Not yet. Down in the mess hall on my knees. Down in the mess hall on my knees.
We got nothing to eat but a can of beans.
Nothing to eat but a can of beans.
The bread was moldy and the meat was bad.
Bread was molded and the meat was bad.
Well, you know darn well that you can't eat that.
Hey, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go.
Here we go.
All the way.
All the way.
Gotta be
Rough and tough. Airborne.
Airborne.
All the way.
All the way. When I was young, I always
Wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, easing the breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight.
all the way airborne, airborne.
Ah, what a great day it is to be alive and to be airborne, of course.
All the way airborne, airborne, all the
What a way to wake up in the morning. Give me some re-enlistment papers. Morning in the drizzling rain, well, I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light.
lead with the chilling glow.
All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. All the way airborne, airborne, all the way driving on, driving on. Here we go, all the way. Gotta be rough and tough, airborne, all the way. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good right now. What else we gonna do? Okay, it's time for the run. All right, who's calling that today? Okay, take cover, take cover. All right, let's do it. Let's go. Somebody call the sergeant major out and left. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. C-130 rolling down the strip. C-130
rolling down the strip.
Oh, airborne daddy gonna take a little trip.
Airborne daddy gonna take a little trip. Mission unspoken.
Destination unknown.
Mission
All right.
Destination unknown.
And we don't even know when we're coming home.
Don't even know if we're ever coming home.
And I'm airborne. Shuffle to the door.
Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door.
And jump right out and count to 4.
Jump right out.
Come on now.
Count to 4. If my main
Don't open wide.
If my main don't open wide.
Well, I got a reserve by my side. Woo. And if that one should fail me too,
If that one should fail me too,
Well, look out below, cause I'm coming through. On the old drop zone. Box me up and send me home. Tell my girl I did my best. And bury me in the front, let it rest. Oh yeah. Woo! When I get St. Peter gonna say, how'd you earn your living? How'd you earn your pay? And I will reply with a little bit of anger. And a whole lot. I made my living as an airborne ranger. Woo! Driving on all day. Woo! Yeah. Oh, what a way to wake up first thing in the morning. Get that run out the way. All right, guys, see you in the mess hall. That's right, SOS and bacon this morning. All right, SOS and bacon, yeah. All right, anyway, good morning to you. Now we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States of America: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, Montgomery Police Department, Montgomery Sanitation Department, Montgomery Maintenance Department, Aaliyah, Alabama National Guard. Did I leave anybody out? Oh, yeah, got to kiss up to the mayor. You never can tell. You might need him. Anyway, good morning to the Honorable Stephen Reed. We don't agree on all things, but I still like the guy. Anyway, so, all right. So that gets us out of the way so we get to talking. Oh, as a matter of fact, the mayor's going to be on the phone with us around 7:10 or something like that this morning. Anybody seen Liz Cheney? Oh, she needs a job. But I will give her credit. She's at least sticking to that line. She's doing what she thought was right. Okay. I had to feel this morning. Woo. And good morning, Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. After all, this is an Air Force town, and we got to pay homage since we all just visiting, but they live here. Good morning to all the folks from all over the world who come here for the Air War College, the intellectual branch of the United States Air Force. Yeah, y'all didn't know we had all that going on in Montgomery, Alabama, did you? I know you did. I know. We're smart here, at least a couple of us anyway. Now, if I could just get them to bring back the C-141, I'll be a happy man. And last but certainly not least, their motto is Semper Fidelis, or Semper Fi. Depends on which, what rank you are in there. But whatever you call it, it means the same thing. Always, always faithful. Good morning, Top, and all of you other Marines out there. I'm going to tell that story one more time about how the Marines, how they stuck it to me. Yeah, but not today. Well, it just don't get any better than that, do it? Now, the Democrats right now are, that's one of the reasons why I don't even like talking about politics that much on a national level, because there's nothing we can do with them idiots up there, and a lot of them are idiots. They're just absolute plain idiots. Um, I'm going to give you an example today, not in this hour. Okay. I got you. Uh, I'm going to give you an example of how the so-called Inflation Protection Act, this bill they just signed, how in actuality, I'm going to give you some stuff this morning that you will be able to digest no matter where you are on an intellect spectrum. Okay, you can be the dumbest guy in Montgomery and you'll get this. Okay, not that we have any dumb folks in Montgomery. I'm just saying you could, if you're in the first grade, you'll be able to see a classic example of how these people lie to you about things that supposedly are going to help you, and every time they say it, it hurts you. But I know Democrats just don't believe that. They really believe that the Democratic Party, the few folks who actually run the party, are on your side. This ain't WSFA on your side. Okay, they're not on your side. We always accuse the Republicans of being on corporate America's side. Well, in actuality, it is the Democrats who are in bed with corporate America. But everybody wants to be woke. But that's okay. When I give you this example next hour, you are going to see it will be so clear to you guys. This got nothing to do. I mean, it would be so clear that if I were you guys, I would join the Republican Party today. Okay, to beat back this thing. Because why is it? Here's my problem. Why is it that they're always talking about minimum wage? Well, we got to get minimum wage. You got to give them a living wage. Well, why is it that every time minimum wage goes up, the power of the dollar goes down? Okay, why is it like when I went to New York, I had to pay $15 for a hamburger? Now I just had $15, so I walk in thinking I could get myself a burger and some fries and a drink. That drink, that's a Southern thing. It's drink, but I'm in the South, so we do like Southern. We say drink. I went in there to get me a drink, $15, and but wait till the example. Wait till the example that I have for you guys this morning. Okay, you are going to see why the Democrats, when they signed this bill yesterday, hurt your pocket big time. I'm talking about big time. But I'm gonna show you. Now, see, when you're poor, you don't have anything to lose because you can't lose everything twice. I mean, you either got it or you don't. So I belong in the poor, okay, or the almost poor, section of our society. I'm just telling you. So when I get back and I'm gonna give you this, the mayor's gonna join us around 7:10. So when I get done, but sometime next hour, you are going to get an example and you're going to scratch your head. You're going to scratch your head. You're going to ask, what the hell is going on? See, that's what you're going to ask yourself when I get done with this presentation this morning. You're going to say, I thought the Democrats said this was the Inflation Protection Act. Okay, but you'll see. I can't wait to tell you. I can't wait to show it to you. I just can't. I'm so enthusiastic about this. Rarely am I this enthusiastic about sharing something with my audience, but I just want you to see the lies that you have been told, and you guys, some of you folks still believe it. So what I like about the Republican Party, here's what I like about it. They don't pretend to care about you, which is good. Because your mama care about you, your daddy care about you, your cousin, but you don't care if a stranger care that much about you. Okay, see, while the Democrats make you think they care about you, at the same time got their hand in your back pocket. Okay, I'm just telling you, you will not believe what I have to share with you guys this morning. I mean, and after they signed the Inflation Protection Act, yeah, okay then, Well, you're gonna. I'm telling you, everybody. Y'all need to call somebody at the 7 o'clock hour to have them listen in, because what I'm going to share with you guys this morning is absolutely astonishing. Okay, I am stupefied. Stupefied. What does stupefied mean? Stupefied means that I am so confused. I am so mystified that I cannot describe the contents of my brain at the moment. So anyway, so now that I've built you up for that, you won't get that till next hour. All right, right now it is 6:36 in the morning. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with the lessons of life and the word of the day. And I got a good lesson of life today. Yeah, okay, I got a great one. This hopefully will change your perspective on a lot of things that you're going through. So we'll be back right now. And if you don't hear nothing else today, you need to hear the lesson of life today. Okay, these are things you learn by living. Not for something that you heard, not something that somebody told somebody, told somebody else. No, these are things you only learn when you go through something in life. Okay? And it's called life lessons, lessons of life, however you want to put it. It is something you can learn from. So we shall return uno momento. Okay, that's my little Spanish thing there. You know, that's where I do it. Okay, I'm just saying. So we shall return. And when we do, after lessons in life and stuff like that, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you guys a classic example of why it is that politicians lie to you. And one of the reasons they lie to you is because you allow them to. You actually believe some of the crap they say. Anyway, we'll be back. Uno momento. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco momento. All right? So don't y'all go nowhere. Stay loose. Anybody up out there this morning? Text a brother. Let me know. Let me know. Because I don't want to share those. Okay, just text me, 241-9998. Let me know that you're up. Because you need to call somebody and let them hear this next hour. You need to call somebody. You need to call everybody in Montgomery. Okay. So we'll be right back.
Sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
Back to a rainy pattern here. We'll have scattered rain showers and a few thunderstorms as early as this morning, but most of that holds off until this afternoon and this evening. Even some scattered showers and storms tonight, which during the summer, you don't often get overnight rain and storms, but over the next few days, we will have just that. More scattered showers and storms Thursday night, Friday night, and the upcoming weekend. As a result of the rain, though, temperatures come down into the 80s. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got a minor accident on the ramp to Ann Street, 85 southbound on the ramp to Ann. So please use caution. Be prepared for that. Not seeing any slowdowns there, but hopefully that'll be moved soon. 85 south on the ramp to Ann Street, exit 3. Outside of that, we're looking good. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. It's back to school time. Rear Place.
I know you do. And I'm a big man.
America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses, and so much more. Premier Place in Prattville, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Talk tires with Montgomery's #1 tire store, Chico's Auto Pros.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
With Chico's Auto Pros, guarantee and 0 down options.
In recent years, several have attempted to claim the Super Smash Bros. Throne. Multiverses steps up to the plate to make their mark. The new Warner Brothers fighting game features characters like Superman, Arya Stark, and even LeBron James. Now, Multiverses is already off to a great start with more than 140,000 active players. Having such a high player base could mark a bright future, but only time will tell if Bugs Bunny can topple everyone's favorite plumber, Mario.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com. Here's how we long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place. And they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Get hands-free slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Summer is here, so get out and enjoy the sun. At Tallahassee, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy with the Make This the Summer event. The all-new Grand Wagoneer is here and ready for you and the great family fun. Summer is a blast in a new Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger with 0% APR for 72 months. Make this the summer. Hop online. We're here by chat, text, and phone to help you. TallahasseeAutomotive.com. Drive a little, save a lot. With approved credit plus finance from Chrysler Capital. 13.88 for $1,000 finance. The only change all factory incentive. See you at the details.
From time to time, parents occasionally ask,
is it safe for my children to participate in high school sports?
a better question might be,
is it safe for my children not to participate in high school sports?
Statistics show that teenagers are likely to be healthier and stay healthier as adults if they play a sport in high school. Participating in a high school sport builds and maintains strong bones, muscles, and joints. High school athletes are also more likely to develop good eating habits. High school athletes not only have stronger bodies, their self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-discipline are strengthened too. So insightful parents aren't asking,
is it safe for my children to participate in high school sports?
Instead, they're asking,
hey, what time is the game tonight?
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Sam, put your shoes on. We're headed to the doctor in 10 minutes. Okay, Mom. Hey, am I going to have to get a shot? Yes. It's time for your yearly vaccines.
Yeah,
you
you
have
got
to
to
make
get a
sure all
shot.
your vaccines are up to date before you start back to school. I have to provide a record to the school.
Alabama law requires children of all ages to be up to date on their immunizations before attending school. Every child needs to be vaccinated against polio, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, also known as whooping cough, measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese to Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Oh, yeah. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. Okay, I'm getting to see how this works now. Okay, I'm beginning to see how this works. We're doing good. All right, I got the tea going on right now. The bags I bought were too big, but they make a quart. I only had a little cup to put them in, so I probably wasted a lot of tea. But I'll fix that up the next time I go to the store. Okay. Oh yeah. Anybody been to the store lately and seen the price of meats and? Okay, but again, the president just signed the Inflation Reduction Act. That is such a woo. Yep, the inflation. The only thing that's being reduced by the Inflation Reduction Act is my check. That's what's being reduced. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day fine. And not only my check, a whole lot of it. Would you just wait till I share with you next hour what I got for you? Okay, you will not believe it. You just won't believe it. I mean, the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, I hear you. But anyway, let's go to something more important, and that is the word of the day and lessons of life. These are things you learn strictly by living. I mean, you can hear about a lot of this stuff, but until you've actually lived it, you don't know squat. Okay, you don't know squat. Okay, yeah. But first of all, What is the word of the day? Now, this word of the day, it pretty much describes a lot of Americans today. Used to be Americans were the opposite of this. Okay, but this pretty much describes the quagmire that we've gotten ourselves into by having men that think they're women and women who think they're men. Okay, this is it. I mean, this is just, I mean, that's just basic biology. But here we are, and again, what you think you are, that's cool. You have a right to think anything. But what you actually are, well, that's a matter of science, and we could always talk about that. But I ain't gonna get on you guys today. I got other people to get on today, so I'm gonna leave you guys alone. And oh yeah, and let me and anybody that wants to take me to task for my position on this, please, you will be treated with the utmost courtesy and kindness. You come up here, let's have that discussion. Okay, anybody from the LGBTQ, whatever it is, or come up here. I won't be a butthole to you or anything like that. I truly would love to have a discussion of how did you get there. That's what I want to know. And if you are there, I mean, what makes you think the way you do? Which is what I like to talk about. Okay, I got a young friend of mine the other day. Found out the other day he's transitioning. Now, when he gets done transitioning, I love this little guy too. Okay, a great kid. But he decided he wanted to be a girl, and which is cool. You can think you're a girl all you want to, but you still gonna be a guy. Okay, I mean you even if you cut off everything you got, you still gonna be a guy without the things that you used to have. You're still a guy. But anyway, I would love to. I wonder will he come up here? Probably not. But anyway, I would like to just have the conversation with people who think that way, because I like to know how you reach that, how you got there. So anyway, if you want to, please, and again, I will treat you with the utmost respect, and that I possibly can. Now that don't mean I'm going to agree with you, but I will at least give you your say. So anybody out there from the LGBTQ community, you want to come up here and explain to us why we should give credence to this thought of yours that you are what you are not. Now, I love to, I love to, and those for the transgender people. Now, if you're gay, you're gay. That's cool. You like what you like. Like some people like greens, some like cabbage. I like greens. I like cabbage too, actually, but I'm not too crazy about cabbage. But I can't figure out how to cook them. So I'm good. I mean, you can like what you like, but what you actually are, you will always be. Always be. Nothing will change that. It's called chromosomes. But anyway, again, I'm putting the welcoming mat out there to anybody who wants to come up here and have that conversation with me, because I am fascinated about how you reach that decision. That you actually believe that you can change what you are. Okay, I'm cool. I'm good. Now, let's talk about some lessons of life. But first of all, the word of the day. The word of the day is milquetoast. Milk toast. What does that mean? It means a person who is timid, meek, and unassertive. There are a lot of folks in America today that are that way. Okay? Timid, meek, or unassertive. Okay? Now, in other words, you're a weakling. Okay? You're a weakling. I mean, some people are born weak, some people become weak. I'm not talking about a weakling because of some medical condition. I'm talking about you have no intestinal fortitude. You don't have a set of gonads on you. Okay? You will let people run over you. You'll believe anything, whichever way the wind goes. Okay, I'll go with you. No. And sometimes we must stand for what we believe, even if I don't believe it. You stand for what you believe. Like Liz Cheney yesterday. Liz Cheney, she said she stood for what she believed, and that's cool. And sometimes you pay the cost like she does. She's no longer in the Senate. I'm good. I'm glad she's gone. So, but that's just me. So sometimes, though, standing up being assertive, not being strong, well, there are some consequences that go with that. Okay, I know. Like one time I almost got busted in the Army because I had a staff sergeant just out there smoking dope, smoking the Pacololo, and I snitched on him. I didn't like it anyway. But she wouldn't put me in for E6. So you see, even when you stand alone, you stand up, you there's a cost to be paid. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right. Now, what is the lesson of today? Now, if you understand this lesson, you will go far. Oh, and again, the word of the day is milquetoast. It means a timid, meek, unassertive person. And you probably, before this day is out, you will probably run into somebody sort of like that. Okay, not me, of course. I am the epitome of manhood. You go in the dictionary, you see, what is a man? They'll put Kevin Helton. See him. All right. Now, so the lesson of life today, and it is a lesson. It is a lesson that too often that we all forget, including yours truly. Okay, we have a tendency, because we reach a certain plateau in our lives, we actually begin to think sometimes that we somebody. We do. It is a frailty of a human being. We buy a new Lexus, we think we somebody. We get a promotion on our job, we think we somebody. Okay? We do. We think we somebody. And at the end of the day, everybody gets lowered in the ground the same way. So this is a lesson of life that I hope you never, ever forget. Okay? Including yours truly. And sometimes I got to slap my own self to remind my own self that I'm not as great as I think I am. And that's pretty high. No, just kidding. Here is a lesson of life today that I hope you take something from this today. Great people are truly humble. Most of us underrate the importance of humility. It is an important skill because it keeps us teachable, regardless of how much we know or have as far as possessions. Again, great people are truly humble. Most of us underrate the importance of humility. It is an important skill because it keeps us teachable, regardless of the things and the possessions and the status that we have. So always, and sometimes we have got to put ourselves, take a step back and understand that we're not as great as we thought we were. So humility is the word, it's not the word of the day, but it's the purpose of this day, because humility keeps us teachable, no matter what position we have, no matter how much money we have, and no matter where we are in life. So the lesson of life today is be humble. It is August the 17th. It is the 229th day. There are 136 days left in this year. It was on this day in 1987 that Rudolf Hess, the last member of Adolf Hitler's inner circle, died at Spandau prison at the age of 93 of an apparent suicide. In 1863, federal batteries and ships began bombarding Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor during the Civil War, but the Confederates managed to hold on despite several days of pounding. The year was 1915. A mob in Cobb County, Georgia, lynched Jewish businessman Leo Frank, who was 31 years old at the time, whose death sentence for the murder of a 13-year-old Mary Fagan had been commuted to life in prison. Frank, who maintained his innocence, was pardoned by the state of Georgia in 1986. Of course, it's a little too late for that one. In 1943, the Allied conquest of Sicily during World War II was completed as the U.S. and British forces entered Messina. 1969, Hurricane Camille slammed into Mississippi coast, a Category 5 storm that was blamed for at least 256 U.S. deaths at that time. In 1978, on this day, the first successful transatlantic balloon flight ended as Maxie Anderson, Bino Abruzzo, and Larry Newman landed their Double Eagle 2 outside of Paris. In 1982, the first commercially produced compact disc, a recording of ABBA's The Visitors, were pressed at a Philips factory near Hanover, West Germany. You know, I was over there then. They didn't give me a copy of that. You know, okay, I knew I was in Baumholder. Okay, I was nowhere near Hanover. Okay, nowhere near it. I was in Baumholder. So no wonder. And all we had in Baumholder was crying E8s and Hitler's old barracks living down there. I'll tell you about that some other day. 1985, more than 1,400 meat packers walked off the job at the GOA Hormel and Company's main plant in Austin, Minnesota, in a bitter strike that lasted just over a year. 1988, Pakistani President Mohammed, no, excuse me, messing this guy's name up. President Mohammed, whatever, Zia, I can't, no sense me killing his name. Ambassador Arnold Raphael were killed in a mysterious plane crash. 1996 was the year the Reform Party announced that Ross Perot had been selected to be the first ever presidential nominee, opting for the third party's founder over challenger Richard Lamb. 1998, on this day, President Bill Clinton gave a grand jury testimony via closed circuit television from the White House concerning his relationship with Monica Lewinsky. And he then delivered a TV address in which he denied previously committing perjury, admitted his relationship with Lewinsky was wrong, criticized Kenneth Starr's investigation. Boy, what you do in the White House is up to you. Okay, I'm just saying. Whether on top of the desk or under the desk. We good. Anyway, 1999, more than 17,000 people were killed when a magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck Turkey. And that was not the place to be that day. In 2017, a van plowed through pedestrians along a park promenade in the Spanish city of Barcelona, killing 13 people and injuring, believe it or not, 120. A 14th victim died, of course, later of injury. Another man was stabbed to death in a carjacking that night, and a van driver made his getaway. And a woman died earlier that day in a vehicle and a knife attack in nearby coastal town. 6 suspects in the attack were shot dead by police. 2 more died and the bomb workshop exploded. And those are some of the things that happened on this day. Okay, in all over the world, not just here in Alabama, any place like that. Sometimes I don't know if Alabama is part of the real world anyway, but I imagine it is. Let's take a break. Coming up at about 10 after, the mayor's supposed to be calling in and tell us about his something's going on in West Montgomery. Another must be election time. Anyway, so somebody else is going to West Montgomery and tell us what they're going to do. And then we'll find out too if another one do.
Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, young man. I see you're still trying to figure out the board, huh?
Well, I'm getting it.
Yeah, because I see people complain that the commercial is playing while they're what's that all about?
You got me, bro. But I'm trying to get it.
You're working with it.
Yeah.
You're working with it.
I knew it was going to be. Challenging.
But you're working with it.
But in another 30 days, I'll be a pro.
You'll get used to it. So you got the mayor calling in this morning.
Yeah,
what he's got going on?
They going to West Montgomery once again to tell us what they're gonna do. But we're gonna fix it up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. I'm so tired of hearing that story. But hey, maybe he'll be the one to do something.
Government can't fix West Montgomery's problem.
News Radio 1440 WLWIA, home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, Alabama.
You know,
This is the CBS
I think that
Roundup,
I need to
sponsored by
replace the
Rocket
chairman.
Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. Liz Cheney may be losing her congressional seat, but she says she's not giving up the fight.
I will do whatever
Oh,
it
I asked
takes
the question.
to ensure Donald Trump is never again anywhere near
That
the
ain't
Oval
nothing.
Office.
Cheney, the incumbent, has lost by a 2-1 margin to Trump-backed challenger Harriet Hageman in Wyoming's GOP primary. Correspondent Robert Costa is in Jackson.
This contest
Okay.
was a prison. To
And
this
that
moment
right, and
inside
that's
the
what that's more
Republican
like it.
Party,
Yeah.
the Trump wing at war with many traditional Republicans. And while Congresswoman Cheney did concede
I just-
defeat in this
Yeah,
race,
what
she
I
did
can
not
tell,
concede
what I can tell from
in the
this thing
battle for
is
the
that
future of the
there's so
Republican
many
Party.
moving parts
Republican
to
Lisa
this thing
Murkowski is hanging on in
that unless
Alaska.
we really get
CBS's
some
Linda
people in here
Kenyon
that
has the results.
really
The
are
incumbent senator,
tenacious
along
about
with
what's going
Virginia
on,
rival, will advance from the primary to
we would
midterm
never have
general
a
election
true
in November.
idea
Also advancing
of where
former
we are.
Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, seeking the state's only seat in the House of Representatives.
Murkowski's challenger, Kelly Shabaka, has Mr. Trump's endorsement. Health officials in Harris County, Texas, are keeping a close eye on a possible case of monkeypox in a 2-year-old child. If the case is confirmed, it would mean at least 7 children in the U.S. have tested positive. County Judge Lena Hidalgo.
I don't want parents to think this virus is running rampant in our schools right now, because that's not the case right now. Now, we might get there if we're not able to contain this through vaccines.
There are now almost 13,000 monkeypox cases nationwide. Overseas, a denial about a missing American. Correspondent Cammie McCormick has an update.
Syria today denied it has kidnapped or is holding any Americans on its territory. Marine veteran turned journalist Austin Tice has been missing for 10 years. Tice was covering the Syrian conflict that began in 2011.
President Biden has accused Syria of detaining him. Elon Musk is stirring up the Twitterverse again, this time over a tweet about an English soccer team. But fans aren't laughing. CBS's Vicky Barker is in London.
First, Elon Musk tweeted, "I'm buying Manchester United. You're welcome." Now he's tweeted that was just a joke. A 2018 joke tweet about taking Tesla private ended up costing Musk $20 million in fines. No word from the SEC about this latest episode.
Target's taken a big financial hit, posting much weaker than expected second quarter profits. They were down $183 million. That's 90% lower from the year before. The company blames the glut of inventory it's been trying to unload and shoppers buying less because of higher prices in these inflationary times. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need cash out of your home and a simple way to get it, Rocket can.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
A man's best friend's been found after nearly 2 months of roughing it.
Jeff Bonnert's dogs Abby and Summer ran away from their eastern Missouri home on June 9th. He didn't think much of it because they usually return, but when his poodle hound mix Abby didn't show by the next morning, and Summer did, he knew something was wrong. He turned to Facebook, neighbors, and police. Nothing. Then 2 months later, he gets a text from a neighbor about a dog in a cave, and it was Abby. She was some 500 feet in, and when pulled out, Bonnert says he picked up the 14-year-old dog, and she was feather light.
I guess she had just been surviving on her stored body fats. That's the only thing I can come up with. There's nothing in the cave for her to eat.
Abby is gaining weight and wagging her tail again. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
A man dining with his family at a restaurant at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware got a surprise when he dug into a clam and found a rare purple pearl inside. Scott Oberlin says he thought it was a bead, but once he saw the indentation inside, he knew what it was. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Of course,
your friend in the car business. Did you know that the average value of a new car plummets in the first week? Why wait 6 months, 12 months, 18 months to get your new car when you can buy a like new car and save thousands? At Budget, there's no new car depreciation. Budget buys in volume, and that enables us to pass the savings on to you. Unlike other dealers, you can shop nearly every make and model, side-by-side comparison. They look like new, they drive like new, so why pay the difference if you can't tell the difference? Find simple interest loans with no prepayment penalties. 100% credit approval is our goal. And if you want to sell your car, we'll buy it on the spot. No trade-in required. We'll find someone to love it like a first date. We guarantee we'll find it a good home. College student, first-time buyer. We buy cars. We buy trucks. We buy vans. We buy SUVs on the spot. 15 minutes or less. Up to $2,172 over Kelly Blue Book value. Get budgetized and become part of the budget family. 61 Glendale Parkway or 508 Queensmith Road, Prattville. Online, buybudgetonline.com. That's buybudgetonline.com.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being
How you been doing there, Donald?
Larry Puckett
Doing great. I can't
selection of
complain.
pre-owned vehicles in over a
Did a
year.
new addition to the at the spot. We extended the pergola, so pergola that we have out there. That's covered. They have decorative covered.
Oh,
Larry Puckett Chevrolet. Patio. It was 12 by 12. Now it's
Thinking about life
12 by
insurance?
30.
Is that what all the boys get together?
One free phone call and we'll
And,
get the best price
Have a
for
few
10
libations.
prices.
Yeah.
Discuss things. That's right up under discuss.
Okay.
Have a good time.
For
Okay.
example,
Most of them come from East Montgomery.
So it's like the man cave.
There you go. Exactly. As a matter of fact, one of the units is a man cave.
I
It has
found him a 10-year,
automotive
$100,000
scene.
for under $22 a month.
Antiques,
From
etc.
Select Quote agent Dan Savino.
And
And believe me,
what?
if Select Quote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too
I have
much.
to roll through there one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
We all, well, I gotta know when you're over there though. You know, just coming down there and be by myself.
Yeah, we'll be down there today.
800-890-6688.
Doing something.
Or go to selectquote.com.
There's always something
Since
going on.
1985.
Saturday, now Labor Day is gonna be a big weekend. Labor Day weekend. We'll be tailgating because some of our Tuskegee friends will be in. We'll have a wonderful, wonderful time. A gay old time.
This afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Uh-oh.
Brand new and you done broke it.
Your WSFA first alert.
Know where to hold them and know where to hold them.
on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed.
Tomorrow.
And right now, save 45% off any order. Shipping to code radio at checkout. Blindster.com.
Spencer.
Leo Spencer. Lewis. His name is actually Lewis, but somehow that people got his middle name set up as his last name. He's Lewis, Pastor Lewis, Macedonia, which is out there on Highway 80.
Oh, oh yeah. Macedonia is not where Macedonia is.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors is better at Brubaker on News
What is that, one of
Radio
those non-denominational?
1440.
No, I think it's Pentecostal.
Still no major problems or accidents.
They have a school,
Have
didn't
been
they?
reported that would send anyone on an
No, I
all-night
think
route looking at your
I
traffic
think
flow,
they
fast
have.
traffic
A lot of people say,
See Bruce Dean for a new home. You know, it's easier than you think at Jayco Manufactured Homes.
Now, Washington told me that my microphone's better off, is better, so we'll see.
okay,
Jayco Manufactured
So
Homes.
my engineer,
okay.
Buckle up, front and back. It's
So that's
law.
this
Montgomery
microphone.
Skywatch
He
Traffic.
said
This is major
was
delay.
because I had some people say that they were hearing you clearly.
oh, really?
Yeah, last Wednesday. So then I got louder, but you know, I was already okay.
Oh, that's good.
Whether you're
I
a
guess it wasn't
student, a
showing.
teacher, or a parent, we could all
Boy,
use
yeah.
a little extra cash at the beginning of the
But
school
we
year.
will see.
That's why we're giving
I'll
you
give
the
a
chance
report.
to
That's
overhaul
okay.
your closet or
You might have a
bathroom
surprise
with a
guest
back to
dropping
school shopping
back.
spree.
Someone
Winners
comes
will
out.
each take home $1,000 to spend on clothes, supplies,
Be
or any of
surprised.
your back-to-school needs. Head to our website now to enter this
But,
national contest for your chance to
we had
win
an interesting
$1,000
discussion.
in the back-to-school shopping spree.
Enter to win. News Radio 1440.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds.
Lord, I've been glad football season to get it. And I ain't that crazy about football. But America is a different country doing football season. We hate, then we can hate our team rather than hate each other. People who don't even like each other get together and vote for their team. So it's just a different place.
Sports bring people together.
That's
Right now
ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
we're in a bad place. We are. It's this attitude that is brought on by basically encouraged by television.
Everyone meet our newest employee,
Former television star.
She has an idea that is going to
Someone
revolutionize.
disagrees with me. That's the answer.
So nice to meet you.
Unfortunately, she just gave her notice. And
Fortunately, I'm old enough to remember the days when
I'm gonna miss
two
her.
parties could disagree on issues, and then they could go down, then go back.
Well, quiet as it's told, they still doing that. I guarantee you there are people right here act like there are people publicly that are just so opposed to the other guy, but when the lights ain't there and the cameras ain't there, they all have to get
There are
right.
some of those, but they're few and far between now because the divide is so much there. Yes, even in the same party, the division is there, both the Democratic and Republican side. There's a division between the conservative.
But I believe
or
I
traditional.
believe that the liberals are more responsible for that divide than the Republican Party. I don't believe so. We don't ask
whether you agree with it or not. The most divisive individual in the world right now is Donald John.
That's my man.
He is the most divisive.
And I love him.
He has turned the nation against the FBI.
Reinsured envelope. Protect your future from inflation. Call Nation.
You turn people against institutions. That's a problem.
8811. 800-299-8811 and start today.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time.
My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing them.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite.
I had West Nile virus from a mosquito.
He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently.
Hey, I got to pick up. I was on commercial break, so give me about 1 minute and call back the number. I saw you call. I wouldn't think what you there. Give me 1 minute. Right, exactly. Okay, I was coordinating with the mayor there. He's going to be calling us in a couple of minutes here about they've got this entourage that is going to be going around town, at least West Montgomery. And of course, we've always, it must be election year, but we always, I've never seen a part of the city that's so important except during elections. Then after that, we kind of like forget they exist. But hey, maybe this time, somebody will actually try to do something, rather than lip service to fixing West Montgomery, because West Montgomery is always a stepchild. As a matter of fact, let me see if I get this right here. I believe His Honor the Mayor is on the phone right now. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. I'm doing fine, sir, and you? See, you and I are we are the example of political people who disagree philosophically, but we're the best of friends. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I noticed in the paper yesterday, you're taking a bunch of people around West Montgomery, because we've heard this story before, Mayor. So tell me, that's true. So we want to give you a shot. So what is it that you're trying to identify today, and to give some people some hope over here, and encourage them to, this is just not another a political ploy to get votes or get on their good graces. And then when the election is over and election season is over, then, we go back to the same thing. Because I've been here for 30 years, my friend. And I've been here. I heard just about everything that anybody could say about West Montgomery. But West Montgomery is still West Montgomery. the last fire, and the first hired, and the last fired. So tell us, give me hope. But they certainly can nudge them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I came out of business school at Vanderbilt with a emphasis in general management and strategy. And that general management was to do real estate development and franchising. So I've got a lot of understanding of where developers are coming from. So when you think about where we are now in West Montgomery, the government needs to do more than us. The government needs to push and needs to highlight and spotlight areas that we think are undervalued and underutilized. There's no bigger sector than the I-65 corridor that runs right through West Montgomery that for years has sat underutilized in our community. It inhibits the growth of our airport, it inhibits the growth of our business, it stunts our tax revenues, and it hurts our ability to bring affordable housing and other real estate options to that part of the city. Now, South Montgomery has aged over time, and that's also one of the secondary focuses. But the primary focus is, West Montgomery and right off I-65, where you have 70,000 cars that are along that track every day, another 40,000 along Mobile Highway. And what we have now is we've announced thousands of jobs that are coming to the industrial development part across I-65 from Hyundai. So when you think about the growth and the magnet of jobs down there, we have to make sure that we're doing the proper planning and the proper development to capture those thousands of workers who will be in that industrial part that are already at Hyundai and give them options to eat, shop, and live in that part of Montgomery. And again, we look at the 7 Montgomery Voting Rights Trail. It's not a place along parts of the trail that we would want tourists and other investors to travel along. So we have to make sure that we can utilize the opportunity zones that's included in, but also the federal designation of it being a civil rights trail that allows investors to abate some of their capital gains taxes and really maximize their investment.
Let me, and again, not being a lifelong Montgomeryan or an Alabamian, my perspective it's just a little bit different. And you being from here and now at the helm of government for the city of Montgomery, and I'm only asking this question out of just a general curiosity. Do we spend too much time reaching back to the past in order to get some economic development? It's been what we were. I understand the history of Alabama and the history of Montgomery, but like you kept bringing the civil rights trail, which I'm thankful for that. I'm here because you're where you are, but I'm where I am. But there has to come a point where we strictly, in my mind, and you can tell me why you think I'm wrong, that we strictly move forward and talk about business, because when you tether the past to the present, it becomes an albatross. And so Do you believe that's a good strategy to tether the past to the future when it comes to business?
Do that. However, what I think that we've been doing is not just tying all our forces to the past, but we have moved forward with an innovative approach to capitalize on the asset of having Maxwell Gunter Air Force Base here and bringing a tech hub to Montgomery and a tech lab to Montgomery, investing in entrepreneurs that are involved in military defense contract work. We're also investing in the innovation network that just comes as a natural to having a Tuskegee University right up the road, an Auburn University right up the road, anchored with state government. And then we got automotive manufacturing and healthcare really anchoring our private sector. So we continue to leverage those industries and those assets that we have with the UAB Baptist partnership, but of course Hyundai and what it has done. So we do both while looking forward for other industries and other technologies. One of the things that is in our budget that I presented last night is more talent recruitment and corporate recruitment for white collar jobs and businesses. We have to have a direct approach to doing recruitment like other cities do if we want those type of jobs to come in to balance where we are in our current workforce. So I think that we can do both, and I think that we are doing both. But let me also just conclude with this on that question. As it relates to the civil rights trail, that's an asset for us that a lot of cities would push you in the middle of the street to have, because many cities don't have a narrative. Many cities that don't have a natural resource such as a river, an ocean, mountains, they're looking for things to sell their city. We don't have to do that. We've got a great narrative. We got a great past that really has given us the town present. We just haven't always maximized that. So when you consider that our airport sits right on the civil rights trail, literally on the trail that Dr. King and Abernathy and so many others marched along, that puts us in a prime position for federal funding to expand the airport into logistics and freight hubs that will create more jobs due to the inland port, which is going to bring 2,500 jobs. 2,500 jobs will come to the inland port. Now, we will be crazy not to look at ways to expand our airport for freight and logistics when we know Atlanta Hartsfield Airport has maxed out in terms of its space and traffic, and we know that there are billions of dollars, upwards of $3 billion out there right now for a total of $25 billion over the next 4 to 5 years that are designed for airports and transportation. So when I make the argument to Secretary Buttigieg and to the Biden administration that we have the best regional airport for them to invest in, then that is something that not only will transform Montgomery, that will transform the Black Belt areas even throughout central Alabama. So think about the assets that you have with that pass that you mentioned. Think about the fact that they're in an opportunity zone for institutional investors, private equity, and even hedge funds are more attractive for them to invest there than in other places. And then think about what we can do through federal funding for the National Park Service and the Department of Interior along that trail. Now you start to see a different West Montgomery. Now you start to see a different Montgomery overall, and thereby a different river region in central Alabama. Because make no mistake about it, if Montgomery doesn't grow, the river region doesn't grow. Central Alabama doesn't grow. Montgomery is the heartbeat for this region. It has been and always will be. And the towns and cities that surround Montgomery need Montgomery to thrive, as do the residents of our city itself.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I guess since I have been here since 1991, it's like a constant divorce rather than a marriage of the past and the future. And if we can marry, well, because there's always somebody fighting against something since I've been here, rather than making that relationship one of marriage between the past and the present, and let's move forward. It's been like a constant divorce fight since I have been here.
Politics in general, right? Politics is the art of compromise. You have people who have different beliefs and different thoughts and approaches to try to get to the same goal, hopefully. Unfortunately, that has not always been the case in Montgomery's political history. You know that since you've been here from 1991. The emphasis has been on certain parts of the city. It has really been on parts of the city that the market would have taken care of itself. And the government has not been responsive enough to look back at those parts of Montgomery. North Montgomery, we are talking about on this conversation, but there are plans there as well. And South Montgomery, in terms of how you redevelop and repurpose these areas. Listen, that was evident in the fact that we had not done a strategic plan in 60 years before, prior to one being completed. Once I got in, it was started administration's last couple of years, but we had not done a zoning update, Kevin. As every developer has told me, regardless of their size, the scope, whether they do cities in Houston, Texas, Plano, or they do Franklin, Tennessee, or they do Decatur, Georgia, or Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, every developer has told me, hey, Stephen, Mayor, listen, if you have outdated zoning ordinances, I don't want to come deal with your city because it's going to cost me time and money to have to clean everything up. And if you don't have your act together, I go somewhere else. So guess what? Those cities that are growing are cities that stay ahead of the curve, that understand where the trend lines are, and always are doing the things that are going to make it easy for people to invest. That's the partnership ultimately that we want. It doesn't have to be political. We don't have to agree on it, but we should agree on the dollar. And we want the dollar to spend several times in Montgomery, and we want it to grow here. And I think what we didn't have was we had a negligence in updating our zoning, a negligence in utilizing the federal government to assist us in development through funds like we're using right now through the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Department of the Interior and from the National Park Service, as well as others. And we had a negligence in terms of utilizing private investors and institutional investors that were outside of Montgomery. So Montgomery people wanted to focus on their pockets and kind of what was easy to them or what their bank accounts probably would allow them to invest in. That's great. Well, I don't care about that. I mean, there's a lot of money in the world. So if you got money in the world and you want to invest it, then we want you to know that Montgomery is open for business. And we can grow Montgomery in a different way with intentionality on those parts of Montgomery that have been left out and left behind and looked over for decades. It's not just any one administration. It has been a philosophy. The government papers prove that. If you come down to our planning commission and you were to look back at the minutes, if you look at things that the government did here, not always intentional, but sometimes it was. And it just was not in a growth-oriented mindset for all of the cities. So we got I-65 that we know needs a lot of care. We've got West Montgomery, North Montgomery that we know needs a lot of care. We know that South Montgomery needs a little attention too. Mm-hmm. And we can do that. And so that's why we're trying to bring these investors who are used to going into urban communities, who are not scared about what they see with weeds and abandoned properties, who know how to leverage new market tax credit, who know what to tell us we need to put in place from the city standpoint, and are used to doing this, and particularly in Black and brown communities. And that's important because often what we see in the data is different in poor Black and brown communities, and certain developers don't want to go there. That's just what it is. Certain developers are comfortable going there. That's just what it is. So we're targeting those who are used to urban renewal projects and who understand the environment that they're coming into and see the opportunity as opposed to the obstacle.
Okay.
in my administration.
Yeah.
Public-private partnerships that we'll be able to create both at federal, state, and local levels will allow this to be tangible for people who are listening right now in a number of months in some cases, and in some cases maybe a few years down the road. But certainly this isn't a project that I plan just to talk about and not do anything about. You know me better than that. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it unless I'm going to do it.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Years ago, I think it was 1977, Jimmy Carter came up with the Community Reinvestment Act, and what we have seen that act be used for is, for the most part, building more churches, as opposed to actually investing in the infrastructure or giving business loans to people that can grow businesses. I mean, we got enough churches. We don't have enough God. We can all use some more God, but we got enough church buildings in our community. But banks seem to get over by fulfilling their obligation by the Community Reinvestment Act by building another church. Have you had that conversation with any of the banks? Yes. I said, have you had the conversation? It seems that our banks, in order to fulfill their Community Reinvestment Act obligations, they are willing to give money for a church in the Black community, but not necessarily in businesses, startup businesses. And I understand credit and all that stuff, but they're getting over on a technicality, and that technicality is given a church because the church is part of the community. Have you had the conversation, say, how come we don't have as many businesses as we got churches that banks are willing to give money to get them built? We got a lot of anchors, Mayor. We got a lot of anchors. Okay. Okay.
People in Montgomery who take the nonprofit route as opposed to the entrepreneurial route. I tell people all the time, it's not the government's responsibility to continue to support endlessly nonprofits. What I would like to see more of our people do in this community, Black, white, old, and young, male, female, is get involved in startups and for-profit businesses. Those add jobs, they add to the tax roll. That's what we need. And I've been an advocate of that long before, again, I got in elected office. I was a small business person. I was an entrepreneur. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. I think what we have to do is change the mindset here to talk more about money. And Kevin, one of the things I said on your show before is I said we talk prayer, protest, and politics, and we don't talk enough profit. So I think we have to talk more about money and capital just as much as we talk about those other things. And I do think that the banks are looking for ways to expand. And some current discussions we're having around the federal rescue plan dollars, there will be dollars taken from that city county level that will go to small businesses, that will go to entrepreneurs, that will go to Black businesses, that will go to incubators to help people enter that space. And so maybe banks can do more. Maybe that's up to us to kind of bring that to their attention. Their board members who are probably listening right now, they can bring that to their attention. It doesn't have to be at the expense of the church. It can also be in conjunction with where the community's mindset is, not just forming and thinking and talking about nonprofits, but how to talk about for-profit opportunities and how to talk about business opportunities. Because one thing Montgomery has not had relative to other cities, even Birmingham, Montgomery has not had what I would call a thriving Black business community. even prior to integration, it was good, not great. It wasn't, maybe what some other cities may have.
You agree with that?
Birmingham. So we need a thriving white business community, black business community, brown business community, Asian American.
We have never really had a thriving.
Yes, we
and I think that
we
need that effort. And listen,
business
it's not just from
West Montgomery.
That can also come from institutional investors and some of the partners that we're looking at bringing here to the city.
Okay, man. I got one call. Somebody want to ask you something. Then we're gonna call it a day. Good morning. On air with the mayor. Morning.
On that. Now, some want to do good, and that's great, but most are interested primarily in making a profit. They don't care where they go. Now, it's up to you to make the case for them of why they can make a profit in West Montgomery, North Montgomery, and other parts of Montgomery. And if they can do some social good, they like that as well. But usually it comes down to what makes the most sense and what's the easiest way for them to get their project online and to get a return on that investment. So we're looking at areas from Cedar Park and Young Fort Village to the Governor's House Hotel. I mentioned I-65 and Westside Boulevard, Fairview Plaza, Montgomery Mall, Cloverland Shopping Center, and more. And again, when we think of there being 40,000 vehicles on mobile highways each day, 70,000 on I-65, and we just announced several thousand jobs that are going across the highway from Hyundai, we know that there's a need there to bring some of these opportunities to this part of the city. And for us, when you consider that we got major anchors along Southern Boulevard at Baptist Health and Alpha, we know there's a need along the Southern Boulevard. That has an interest for not only the corporate community that we have here, but for the amount of land that we have. And so we know that we got to give people a reason, as Karen and I said at the beginning, we got to do more than nudge. We got to push, we got to highlight, and then we got to show them that we got a plan. City Council and the Chamber did a corridor study on Southern Boulevard. That's out there for developers to see exactly what we're capable of doing. What I have shared with them is what we're willing to do from the city standpoint and even other parts of this area, and bringing in developers who have done this in parts of Birmingham, in parts of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Mississippi, Decatur, Georgia, parts of Atlanta. They understand the landscape. They understand the demographics. They don't just need vacant farmland and, you know, a clear canvas to develop. They know how to navigate the urban landscape and how to make a profit off of this. And that benefits our community and it benefits them. And when you have that, you have a win-win situation, and that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, let me get you one more call. Then we got to go ahead and take a break. But Mayor, appreciate you coming on. Let me take this one. You're the lucky one. What's a question for the mayor? That's you. Yes.
New businesses, you're talking about individually owned business?
LLCs, all for-profit businesses, yes.
Okay. Okay, can I make you aware of something? Are you using the ARPA money to do that?
We will be presenting that before the city and county elected officials. Yes, that's in the initial proposal.
Okay, well, can I make you aware of something? I was told by a city council person that there's no way are they going to allow new businesses to get that money. And I know what the government says that it's for. So how would you feel if one of your city council people have already said that they're not helping out new businesses?
I think they're one voice and they have a right to their opinion. I don't think that represents the majority.
Okay, but I want you to know that you got to make that case for the people that money, what that money is available for.
Yes, and I do. And some people think new business from the standpoint of it going directly into fund that business. It may be to help that business get started. It may be to give that business coaching and a way to get off the ground. I don't know if it can be used for initial seed capital, but new is relative. If you were open and you were impacted, certainly during COVID, then you may still be new even though you just aren't getting started, if that makes any sense.
Right. Okay, Mr. Mayor. So today you guys you got a bunch of people with you, entrepreneurs, business people, developers, and you're just gonna go around, take a survey of West Montgomery or those areas within the basic geographical location and see what's possible. Is that basically what we're gonna do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mr. Mayor, thank you, sir, for spending some time with us this morning. And actually, it's quite informative, to tell you the truth. I didn't find anything to disagree with you on this morning. Yeah, that's a play. Yeah, run with that one. Yeah. Appreciate it. We'll be back right after this. Thank you, sir.
First alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
That Community Reinvestment Act, I just don't think that they doing. I don't think they holding the bank feet to the fire on that.
No. The most important thing for bank's sole purpose is to make money.
And we
all
got
businesses.
yeah.
And I think he said something that was important. All businesses,
Make money.
their only purpose of existence is to make money.
I got that.
They are not there to be.
But to be a good corporate neighbor, though.
They don't care.
Well, and maybe not. And that's why it's for us to care.
He said something that was important.
Yeah.
They choose the easiest route. If you're gonna have problems in a community, if folks don't complain about something,
yeah, they go. Which I ain't mad at.
They're gonna choose the easiest route. So you can't pressure them to put a business anyway. In other words, there will never be a Starbucks in West Montgomery. But I'm just saying, there are people who do.
Still no major problems or accidents. Nothing's being reported by the authorities. We're checking with the surrounding counties. They're clear. We're looking at your traffic flow maps. They're moving smoothly. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Reinhardt Used Car Super Center has over 40 Toyota RAV4s and Tacomas. Your good credit and no money down gets you on the road today. Reinhardt Used Car Super Center on the East Boulevard. Buckle up. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Your Montgomery Biscuits are ready to take on the 2022 season with the best fans in minor league baseball. Join us for a summer full of theme weekends, celebrations, and the best biscuits in town. For ticket information, go to biscuitbaseball.com. Call the box office at 323-BALL.
The City of Montgomery Department of Cultural Affairs is calling all creative minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way.
You know, even though profit is the primary goal of most businesses, are you telling me that there's no moral attachment?
There's no moral attachment in business. Business is not a person. Business is an entity. It has no morality.
And in every corner of America, the Guard is
okay. And let's look.
You think it's always been that way?
Yes. In capitalism, that's what it is. Okay, right now, the price of gasoline is higher because it's a profit margin for business. They don't give a damn, and I'm using my best ground. They don't give a damn about the consumer as long as they can pump as much money out of a consumer because it is a limited use resource. There's a limited use or a limited amount of time that they can sell that gasoline. So they're going to make the highest profits within the shortest period of time, and that's it. They don't care about how much you pay. They don't care about you not being able to pay for it.
I bet you won't ever get a business owner to say that.
No, you won't. But that's the truth. But what it is up to you. In other words, first thing you have to understand economics. It is strictly supply and demand. That's it. It's supply and demand. If there's a demand, you have a supply. The price of your supply is determined by the demand. That's it. Starbucks sell a cup of coffee for $5. You can go to McDonald's and I get one free. Okay? It's the demand for it. People who will demand it. I don't demand it for Starbucks coffee. I can, if I want coffee, I can go to McDonald's. It's the same coffee.
Yeah. Coffee beans, coffee beans.
Yeah. No matter what anyone tells you. Okay? It's supply and demand. And it's marketing. Okay? Bottom line, all this sounds good. If people can say West Montgomery, we're going to do this. What hurts West Montgomery is demographics. And yeah, all those 70,000 people that travel through every day on I-65, they're not getting off on that. They're going where they're going.
Okay.
Let's give them a reason to get off.
Good morning, everybody. Before we get back to our show, let me tell you about our sponsor of this hour, which is JL Lane Truck and Auto. JL Lane Truck and Auto. You need a car? You need one right now? You need a pre-loved car? I don't say used, pre-loved. Give those guys a call at 272-4313. Online inventory. Go to jllanetruckandauto.com. Look at what's on the lot right now. You can sit there at work and figure out which one you want to go pick up later. You can buy there. You can pay there. So you have to worry about kissing the ring of Montgomery Credit Bureau. Cars have been cleaned. They've been cleared of all known issues and have passed a rigorous and vigorous inspection process. So as you're ready to ride, go to 208 Gun Road. 208 Gun Road. I'll give them a call. 272-4313. 4313. That's 272-4313. If you're willing to work with them, they're willing to work with you. The only way you don't get a car from J.O. Lane Truck and Auto is that you ain't breathing when you leave. They're going to do everything they can do to put you in the wheel, because we know how important transportation is in our current society. You got to have a job to go to work. You got to have a job to look for a job. You got to have a car to look for a job. You need transportation, dependable transportation. And to tell you the truth, if my mother was alive, I'd send her over to JL Lane Truck and Auto. That's how much I trust them. Okay, so give them a call, 272-4313. That's JL Lane Truck and Auto, jllanetruckandauto.com. Check them out. Let me see who's on the line here. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Well, you know how it goes. I'm working on it. Boy, I don't think he said anything about doing anything with taxpayer money. Well, you got to be more specific. I mean, you heard him. You heard him like I heard him. I think you got to put forth a good. If you put forth a good product, I think people will come. Like the old baseball. He didn't say anything about paying money. We got to ask him that. Yeah. There after much investigation, there is some. Let me ask something. Wait. Do you ever have anything good to say? You ever get? Well, what specific has anybody said they're going to do? I mean, I just, listen, well, it ain't about love. Well, actually, I love you too. It's all about money. But the problem is, wait. The problem with money in the city of Montgomery has always been certain people got it, and hell, a lot of people didn't. And I do believe, we don't want businesses are in business to make money. So if they got a good product or a good service, they can make money. And that's what he said also. That's what he said. It is not. Okay, wait a minute. It is the job of government to make it conducive to do business. Well, I'm not trying to. Well, I'm going to give a guy the benefit of the doubt. Listen, I don't agree with Stephen Reed on everything, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think. Okay, well, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. Anyway, appreciate it. I mean, you can't please everybody, but he did say it wasn't government's job to create business, but it is the government's job to create an atmosphere that is conducive for business to come here. Okay, and I think he has a responsibility on that. The Community Reinvestment Act, we've been hearing about that act for years. Don't really know what they've done. The banks around here have actually done, except loan people who didn't really need the money. Okay, so it's kind of like credit. When you're young, you go down to get credit. They tell you you need a good credit score. Well, yeah, but you haven't lived long enough to get a credit score. And once you live long enough to get credit, you don't need the credit.
Well, they follow the guidelines.
Yeah,
that's what's important. They follow the guidelines, and that's it.
Yeah. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah, turn whatever that is. Turn it down. Okay. that's part of all the talk shows. It ain't just me. That's part of all the talk shows. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm. Well, the last caller strictly, he just angry. He angry at everybody. Yeah, that's his modus operandi. Okay, yeah, that's he just don't like. I don't even think he like himself. Tell you the truth, if you don't like yourself, how you gonna like anybody else? You know, I personally think he needs a little.
Not in defense
Yeah.
of the caller, that's
Yeah.
that's his perception.
Yeah.
That's the way he perceives things,
Yeah.
and therefore that gives him that perspective.
Okay, got time to take one more call here. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And they do. Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Our time is up this hour. I got Donald with us, but you know, the mayor, when the mayor wants to talk, I let him talk and let him explain what they're trying to do today. They're going to go around the east, the west side, and just look at the possibilities and talk to the business and the potential investors and see what it's going to take. Maybe, just maybe, we'll actually do something. We'll just talk. We'll be back.
Your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning. I'm Jeff. The landmark Inflation Reduction Act is now law. Democrats hope the $750 billion stimulus will reshape much of the American economy.
Well, I guess that kind of tells you what direction the show will go in today. So.
Makes major changes to health
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, you got because
First
they
Lady Joe
talked a long
Biden has
time.
tested
Very few
positive
people
for
got a chance to
COVID-19.
say anything.
White House
I did
officials
it.
say she tested positive
Yeah.
on Monday.
Well, that's good. That's good.
All we've been doing
Yeah.
is arguing and
Yeah. That's all what it is. And therefore those arguments will come. Right.
And the Navy's latest
So it's
let's hear the man what he had to say.
Yeah. Well, you did. I like the way you did that. You let him say what he had to say, and he said it, and go from there.
Yeah.
So you didn't.
I ain't intelligent.
No.
And I don't. Listen.
home of the
Because
Ben
soccer,
Shapiro
I agree with them. I mean, West Montgomery needs soccer. But the problem is, you've been here a while, I've been here a while, we've always...
Well, the difference between you and I and what he fails to understand, for-profit businesses aren't going to do anything. That's why nonprofits step in, because for-profit has one purpose, to make money. And then a lot of people get into nonprofits to make money. That's the problem. We have too many people who get into nonprofits to make money. But the sole purpose
of a job.
No, the sole purpose of it is to use public dollars to help people who cannot help themselves. That's the purpose.
But I may be one of them people that can't get, they need some help too.
Well, if you need help, well, here's the way it is. If you need help, you can't help other people. Only people who have money can help other people. Now, if you are an influential person who can get other people, see, it's like this. Brian Stevenson is not a millionaire, but Brian Stevenson knows a lot of billionaires. They, in turn, give him the money. No. He's that nonprofit just makes a whole lot of money. But he personally, he probably does make me from his speaking engagements, because he does make a lot for him. But that wasn't his purpose of doing it.
The Commerce Department says sales were flat last month as high inflation and rising interest rates continue to take a toll. Target's second quarter profits were down 90% from the year before. Severe drought conditions are getting more severe in the West. Now, federal governments declared the Colorado River water shortage the worst on record. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
7 states were told to develop plans to drastically reduce their water usage. Federal officials say they failed to do so. So now the government has declared a Tier 2 water shortage for next year. Arizona's annual water apportionment will be reduced by 21%. Nevada's by 8%, Mexico's by 7%.
In Germany, water levels on the Rhine reached a record low this morning, making it impossible for most boats and ships to deliver their goods. Correspondent Vicki Barker is at the foreign desk.
Falling river levels across the region are exposing so-called hunger stones, inscriptions from the Middle Ages warning future generations that if the waters have receded far enough for them to be seen, famine is on its way.
In Cincinnati last night.
It's just too good from Emma Raducanu.
The defending U.S. Open champ beat Serena Williams in straight sets. It is Serena's second consecutive loss since she announced she'll be retiring after this month's Open. The crowd in Cincy gave her a standing ovation. Deborah Roderick, this is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medishare right now. Medishare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medishare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 27 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
One state is reporting a record lottery payout and millions of dollars in unclaimed winnings.
In the just-ended fiscal year, the Virginia Lottery had its highest-ever sales, prices, and profits. But it says more than $17 million in winning tickets went unclaimed. That money will now go into the state's literary fund, which provides low-interest loans for school construction, renovations, and technology upgrades. About $6 million in prize money was collected from winners who owed child support or had outstanding fines and debts. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
There's a new treat on the way from the Girl Scouts. The organization says the Raspberry Rally is a sister cookie to the Thin Mint. They have the same chocolate coating, but they're
Troy University is a public university in Troy, Alabama.
That will only be available online when the next selling season begins in January. Girl Scout leaders hope it'll entrepreneurial skills. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
You know what's important? And I think we don't have it right now. It's not politics, it's relationships. That's what we're lacking right now in local government, is relationships. Because politics has gotten in the way so much. Leave race out of it, basically. Personality. Because we have the most wonderful opportunity in Montgomery that we've never had before and exists now. And we should take advantage of it.
I mean, it's about relationships.
It's about relationships.
It's about relationships.
Do you know that all these people talking about bringing in, do you know the two largest investors basically in the state of Alabama, right here in Montgomery? And one of the most profitable universities from academics, right here in Montgomery.
Which one is that?
Troy University. Troy University worldwide. It makes a profit off of this university. It's not a state university. It's a universal university. Troy trains and educates servicemen all over the world.
What if you could make one phone call and learn the best price from up to 10
Troy University has one of the most advanced
for example,
visual sites
he was getting sky-high
in the
quotes
country.
from other companies because he takes meds to control
It's
his
right over at
blood
Oak
pressure.
Park.
But when I shopped around,
Every public school student in the fifth grade goes over there to see it.
What, the planetarium?
Yeah.
$20 a month.
Which
That's the most advanced in the country.
it doesn't belong to Troy anymore.
Has a partnership with Troy and
The city.
Troy and the city.
No.
The city and Troy.
Yeah.
That's a partnership. It's a Troy University and the city who owns that. It doesn't.
Well, we were talking
it's on city property.
We were talking about that last night at the
At the
board meeting, and
Mhm.
the planetarium is now, I believe, strictly going to be ran by the city.
But Troy has turned it over to the city.
Yeah, I believe they have. Yeah, I'll
But
double
Troy
check.
paid for everything.
Yeah.
So
I've been in there.
It's a gift.
It is a fantastic
Yeah.
venue.
Because they come by the busloads during school year, all school year long. And it's not free.
I
The
don't know.
same thing for the Rosa Parks Museum. You talking about a Department of Interior money? The biggest recipient of Department of Interior money in the city of Montgomery is Troy University at the Rosa Parks Museum. They received initially $4 million, and they received 1.5 in perpetuity from the Department of Interior. They're permanently in the budget. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not making this up. I'm just telling you factually, but because I know that there were relationships with the other mayors with Troy University. And watch this. RSA.
I've had constipation.
Biggest investor in the state.
And bullying for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements.
Troy University. The RSA owns buildings in New York. They own skyscrapers in New York.
Yeah.
Every green top building you see. Troy RSA is a retirement system of Alabama. The Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail is owned by RSA. That is an investment for the retired system of Alabama. And what they do is invest money for the retirement system, which is one of the best in the United States of America. Retired system, RSA has profited every year. They make a profit because you have a built-in tenant. If the state of Alabama rents the building from you, see it works that way.
Well,
The
that's
state
why
of Alabama.
Bronner's still there.
That's right. And you don't hear anyone. I don't care, the Republican or Democrat, they don't talk about him. Leave that alone. Because he makes money for the retired system of Alabama. All retirees in the state of Alabama. And where is it? The headquarters? Montgomery, Alabama.
And welcome back. First of all, let me tell you, this hour of our show will be brought to you by JL Lane Truck and Auto. JL Lane Truck and Auto. Online inventory, buy here. You can buy there. You can pay there. So you don't have to worry about, your credit score and all that stuff. They are willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself. So if you're walking, okay, and you feel like riding, well, you need to pick up the phone, call those guys, 272-4313. That's 272-4313, and they'll do all they can to assist you in getting some dependable transportation that you can depend on. You don't have to worry about if you drive that car back on the lot, it'll strictly be to trade it in for a new brand. Okay, I'm just telling. Give them a call, 272-4313. All of these cars have been cleaned and cleared of all known issues. They have passed not only a rigorous test, but a vigorous test, okay, in an inspection process. So if you're ready to ride, go to 208 Gun Road, or you can give them a call, 272-4313, and ask for Steve, and he'll be there to help you out. I'm just telling great cars. They got online inventory. JL is all one word. JLLaneTruckandAuto.com. So why are you saying they're doing nothing at the state right now? I'm just saying you might want to take a look over there and see if they got a nice car. They got a Lexus I've been trying to sell forever over there. Z can't get a car. We won't get him a car till he turns, 17. This get a car at 16 thing. That's too much for me. I don't think you need a car at 16. You need to get on the bus at 16. You want to go to a date to the movies? Take her on the bus. That's right. That way, because you got to be home by the time the bus stops. And then I know where you are. So I'm just saying. But as soon as you turn 17, we're going over to JL Lane Truck and Auto, and we're going to let them put Z in one of them nice little cars over there. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So give them a call, 272-4313, 272-4313, and ask for Steve. You can come in walking, but you can leave riding and talking. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I always got to put a rhyme things in there, who is this? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, let me turn that off right here. Yeah, pretty good. Mhm. Okay, let's let him get through this one first. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And what should we vote for? Mm, mm, okay. So in other words, so you really can't blame somebody for voting their interest. Okay. Well, they're voting. Wait a minute. They're voting. Listen, they're voting their interest. Well, listen, y'all scare me sometime. You take that from a statement that all of a sudden people want to put us back in cages and chains. Y'all scare the hell out of me with that kind of conversation. Okay. It shouldn't have. We had a bunch of people who said we're going to redress our grievances because we think we've been screwed. We don't have a democracy. No, we don't have a democracy. We don't have one. Wait a minute. Y'all want this country to look that way. You get mad at the people who want to go fight against the government because the government screwed them. Wait a minute. Now, that's not what Thomas Jefferson said. Wait a minute. That's not what Thomas Jefferson said, the founders of this country. He didn't say that. You don't go out and fight. He didn't say that. He said from time to time, what? We already had a civil war, but why not? If you think your government is sticking it to you, you have a right to fight.
And that's called insurrection.
I don't know what they call it.
Insurrection.
You have a right to fight. Wait a minute. So is the government somehow never wrong?
If you fight,
and the government are people like you and I.
If you fight against the government,
okay,
and the government that is carrying out its business, that is called insurrection.
Okay, now let me ask you guys.
That's why you vote.
We
have a constitutional republic.
Okay, and did not the Declaration of Independence say government for the people, by the people, and of the people?
And what does that mean?
I know them all. So,
no.
You do have a right. Now listen.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You got a human right.
If you take up arms against the United States of America, that is called insurrection.
Okay. Well, you got to pay the part. Well, what I guess in black folks should never have fought against it.
They did not take up arms against the government.
Because we couldn't find no arms.
No.
You don't think black folks?
What they did was nonviolent protest.
Now you talking about the 60s. I'm talking about back in the day. You don't think we could have got a hold of some of them guns? We wouldn't use them.
Nonviolent protest.
Okay. Listen, I ain't mad at you. I'm not a slave to the government. Okay, the government is supposed to be a slave to me. Yeah. We live in a representative republic. We do not have a democracy. If that were the case, we'd still be slaves. I'm telling you, we don't have a democracy. We don't have one.
We democratically elect.
Okay, right. But we're a republic.
Democratic republic.
Okay, we're not a democracy. Because in democracy, most of the time, the majority wins.
Well, we have a constitutional republic.
Yeah, constitutional, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. All right. See you later. All right. I can only take so much liberalism. Let me see. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm always concerned when people talk about government money, like all of a sudden that money does not come from us, the taxpayer. And if the taxpayer can benefit from some of that money, it is our money. Well.
You've given it to the government.
Yeah, right. For you. Technically, it's our money, but we don't get to tell people what to do with it once we give it to them. But it's still our money. Yeah. Well, all right. Appreciate it. All right, appreciate it. Let me see who be this. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Who said that? Listen. We got a right as a citizen to redress grievances with our government. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Liz Cheney lost. That was good. Best thing that happened last night. Hey. I ain't mad at him. First of all, wait a minute. We had an election here that the Democratic Party who won took the woman off the ballot and put somebody else there.
Oh, they did. They took her off.
Yeah, and they put somebody named Arrington there. I said, so the people voted for that. Oh, okay then.
Well, that's a party.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I hadn't kept up with that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't have a side. Yeah. Yeah. I would run, but then I give up a job, try to get a job, end up with no job. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if Trump love me or don't love me. He don't give a crap about me. And tell you the truth, I ain't losing no sleep over him. But what he believes, I believe. Listen, listen. Listen. You know why you wait? You know why you ain't? You know why? Okay. You know why? Listen. Do you? Let me get away. You know why you broke? Because you letting Trump live free in your head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, you broke. I know, but you still broke. You gotta stop letting people live free inside your head. Gotta take a break, and we'll be back. Y'all just Trump got y'all on a thing, man. But I'll still say, we got a right to protest our government if we want to. So we'll be back. I'm just kidding upstairs.
Keep it straight. Oh, okay. Yeah, you better keep that straight. What Kevin talking about?
Yeah, kidding.
Just kidding. I just playing. Boy, you're a man. Boy, I tell you, I'm glad that I'm old enough to remember when politics was just about
I don't know
making good.
I don't know if it's ever been
Yes,
that
it has.
way.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. When you come back, I'll tell you.
Directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Kleinster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use the code radio at checkout. Kleinster.com.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got our first accident. It's on the East Boulevard southbound just before 85. Keep your eyes open for it. You're heading that direction. Otherwise, we're looking good. Interstate system's moving smoothly. You keep listening, and we'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. It's back to school time at Premier Place. Shop at Fashion, GNC, T-Mobile, Goodwill, and more. Premier Place in Preston and a great development. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law.
Chico's
On the balls.
Chico's Auto Pros price match guarantee and zero down options.
the truth, and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Joe Biden and the climate alarmist religious cult have now artificially reduced the world's supply of oil, and they're making record profits. They're getting rich as hell off of Joe Biden's stupidity, and we're all paying the price for it. I mean, and they're controlling the price of a barrel of oil. They can lower the price of a barrel of oil. That's why OPEC basically, snubbed Joe Biden repeatedly, and so did the Saudis. They're working with Vladimir Putin. They don't care that Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine one bit. Vladimir Putin doesn't care that MBS likely killed journalist Jamal
Show me the
Khashoggi.
merger like the Mexicans.
And Joe Biden gets on his hands and knees, kissing the ass of MBS, who he called a murderer and called Saudi Arabia a pariah nation. It's nuts.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Listen, the last time the economy looked like this, the stock market tanked 50%. The U.S. dollar lost 46% of its value, and the price of oil quadrupled. Yet, while the U.S. economy collapsed and inflation ran through the roof, the price of gold shot up 1,300%, and silver rocketed over 2,400%. So if history repeats itself, we could see it happen again. Can you afford to miss what could be the biggest gold and silver boom of our generation? That's why I want you to call Goldco at 855-815-GOLD, because when you do, you'll not only get the chance to protect your retirement savings with gold and silver, but as a Sean Hannity listener, you could get $10,000 or more in free silver just for doing it. This is a rare opportunity, and that's why I want you to call. Again, Goldco at 855-815-GOLD. That's Goldco, 855-815-GOLD. Don't miss out. Check them out today.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one
Kevin
free phone
Elkins
call
show.
and learn the
Very
best
interesting
price from up to
show.
10 price competitive
Very
companies?
interesting.
Well, that's exactly what happens when you call Select.
We aim to be entertaining, if not informative.
You're definitely entertaining. People have to be prepared. You can't do thin skin.
No.
You can't take it personal.
No, you can't take it personal.
Just so you make it personal.
I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-890-6688. That's 800-890-6688. 800-890-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. And must be there depending on your health issuing company and the fact it's not available policy.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and call to 800-282-3333, visit StarRegistry.com. We will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333, or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, we're back. Good morning. Hope this. I had the mayor on for a little while last hour, and he was talking about his program that those guys are going out today to look at the landscape of West Montgomery and see what's possible, what's probable, and what is improbable. But he's got some folks, some entrepreneurs, hopefully, going out with him. And the mayor did say government does not create business, but they can create an atmosphere where business can flourish. Now, that doesn't guarantee you success, but it guarantees you an opportunity if you're willing to put in the work. And that's all they can do. The zoning and looking at what Mr. Boyd's trying to do, the zoning thing is a big deal. I should be on the zoning board. Hell, I get everybody.
Separate issue.
It's still part of the process of
Well,
doing
that's a
business.
separate issue.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up. That's in this
Wait a minute,
particular
let me bring
inference,
it. I
that's
wanna
not what
bring
the,
it up.
oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's your show.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you bring in particulars, it's totally different.
Well, okay, but the mayor even mentioned this. He said that one of the businesses said, if I got to go through a whole lot of stuff to go through zoning, I'm not coming.
Right.
Okay.
And that's
so
what
zoning does matter.
Well, what we're saying is there are a lot of areas that are in certain, like there are gray fields that should be rezoned. Do you know what a gray field is?
I guess it's gray. I don't know.
No. Gray fields, those are areas that are commercial areas that are underdeveloped. That's a gray field.
Okay.
A green field is an area, and he talked about that. That is an area that has not been developed. And you have to get a lot of green field rezoned in order to put businesses in.
Okay.
And then you have a brown field.
So if I'm going out to Industrial Park over there on Gunner, near Gunner, that place is already a industrial park.
It's zoned for that.
Yeah.
But across the street, there may be a pasture that may still be zoned as a green field.
Yeah. Good morning, who's this? Yes. Sorry about that. I gotta get that fixed, but okay, go ahead. Wait a minute. That's not true. I do that, but that's not. You still here? Well, we got about a minute. Something happens when it comes to. We're still working. I'll get my engineer on this again. But you ought to be able to hear me in about 30 seconds. Can you hear me yet? Yeah, I can hear you fine. I don't think anybody's been charged with it. I don't think anybody's been charged with insurrection. Well, because I think they have a right to be pissed off and go to their government and let them know they're pissed off. I didn't care what they tore up. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me be intellectually honest here. I must admit, when I saw it happening on TV, I thought there was a bunch of Democrats. I did not believe that quote unquote conservative people would do that. I didn't, but no. I didn't see no black folks up there. So, I believe that people. Because Democrat take the Black Lives Matter thing, tearing up all. And here's another thing: Wait a minute. Why did we forgive everybody else in 2020 and whenever that happened before that tearing up this country or cities all over America, burning down buildings, breaking into
wrongs make a right.
Breaking into government,
do two wrongs
and
make
killing
right.
people.
Hold on.
Nobody was killed.
That is called deflection. You talk about something someone else did wrong and don't want to talk about what you did wrong. We're talking about let's do that's deflection.
I'm talking about treat everybody the same.
No. If we had a group of people go into the Capitol of the United States and stop the vote to determine who would be the president, that is not in comparison to people out there
killing each other,
looting stores.
What's the difference?
That is to stop the function of business of the United States of America.
It's government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That government does not exist unless we give it consent.
Yes.
You're back.
No. In other words, you see, I always have to get on. Kevin is very good at deflection. And people, when you get into conversation about the deflection that he gave, stay on the point. The point was the people who broke into
it's a double standard.
It's not a double
it's
standard.
It's a double standard.
We're talking about the standard of the President of the United States, the standard of the Congress of the United States, and the Senate.
They work for us.
And
we don't work for them.
They work.
They work for us.
No, we elect them
to work for us.
And if they don't do it,
then we need to get rid of them.
The way we change that is we vote to change them.
But when you vote and they keep disregarding your vote, then what happens?
Perfect example. The people that voted against Liz Cheney.
Yes.
They voted her out.
Because that was a state election.
That That was for.
That was a state election.
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
And what's the difference between a state and a government?
Because the Democrats got together and paid off all the judges. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
He gave you a reason.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. If I felt those people got screwed glue, right? If I felt those people got screwed, glued, and tattooed by a government that's supposed to represent them, absolutely.
Caller, you can't answer a hypothetical.
Yes. Listen, in the history of America, we didn't get screwed, glued, and tattooed on many occasions. Maybe we should have.
Kevin is going to defend the insurrection. He's going to defend.
That's right.
President Trump. That is his.
Trump didn't do that. Trump wasn't part of the insurrection. That's right.
Now, I am not trying to change Kevin's perspective.
That's right. Don't do that because it won't happen. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Chamber of Commerce went.
I don't remember exactly who started.
Chamber of Commerce.
It was a where was that?
Because I was in that.
You had an office.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce did that.
Yeah, several businesses used to be in there. Okay. They had a spot in there.
But they wouldn't.
Yeah, they had a spot.
This is strictly that was strictly a chamber thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was in there. I was in there for a little while, and I outgrew it. So that was, I can call myself a miniature.
Yeah, well,
success.
It was an incubator, and just like any baby, once you start that baby in that incubator, you don't know what it's going to turn out to be.
Right. It was like when we were breastfed.
Yeah, they were breastfed there,
and we got off the,
Yeah, it's to get you. It basically was to get you into the basics of how to start a business, and it had a few things to help you out with computers and so forth.
Yeah.
There may have been some people successful or not. I don't know. Yeah, some people never do.
No matter how old we are.
They still grab that teeth. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know all of the ins and outs of that. I mean, you could ask that about a lot of what happened to Winn-Dixie. I mean, what happened to Bruno's? Ask that question. I think that's. I don't know. The retail grocery is a hard business.
Yeah, I don't know why what happened there.
Yeah, it's the same thing as why did Bruno shut down? That would be equal to ask that question. Why did Bruno shut down in food world? Right. And I'll continue to say that. They're not in community building. Right.
That it is. Appreciate it. Gotta take a break. Last break of the hour. We call this the epilogue. 860-1440 is the number here. You can always text me 241-9998 if you can't get in. I only give certain people my my phone number, 241-9998. You to certain people. Okay. We'll be back right after this.
I like that. Everybody's special. You're having a hard time.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
So the time is a different timer on there for the music when you pick up the phone.
No.
So what? You have music playing when people are listening?
No, they can actually hear the show.
Oh, they can actually hear
but,
the show.
But something's going on. Something's going on with this thing, with this computer. I don't know. I got to talk to him later.
Yeah, you need to straighten that out.
Yeah.
I heard that a couple of times today. Well, you got 30 days. You straighten it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll figure it out in 30 days. You're slow learner.
Sometimes I am.
Yeah, I can understand. Boy. Well, that was an interesting point.
What's that?
Businesses, when I've said it over and over again, their sole purpose of being.
And I understand, because without money, they don't stay in business.
Right.
So
That's it.
Yeah, I got that part.
And there is no altruism in business.
But
They have, in other words, just like I told you when you talk about Dollar General don't care where they go. All they care about is the demographics show that we will have a traffic of X in there. And this store within a certain period of time is going to make X number of dollars. And you add that on to the other stores they have. That's how they got to be a $500 billion business.
I'm good, but I just feel they have some. I feel they have some responsibility.
They
to
don't.
The community.
They don't.
Okay, well maybe they
But
don't.
what they do, they have a feel-good portion. I tell you what it is. They have the Dollar General Literacy Program. That's where people can apply for it. They have set aside several $1 million for that purpose. Okay, they don't go out trying to look for people. People come to them. And I can tell you, I was one of those people who went to it. That's how we did our GED class. Literacy. I mean, you can't help everything. So people need to learn. Okay, if you want literacy classes, you're going to improve literacy within your area. If you're within 2 miles of 15 miles, I think of no, it wasn't very far, but it was a Dollar General close enough to us to qualify. That's just an example. But businesses set aside a portion for helping community. That's what they do.
Right.
It's not their business to do that. And rich people do that. That's why they have these scholarships. That's why they have these endowments and they have foundations. You don't go to Shaquille O'Neal and ask for money. Shaquille O'Neal has a foundation. Okay, you want some? Matter of fact, you can tell his kids, look here, you got all those girls. He said, look, I'm not hiring any, none of my company's gonna hire my son-in-law. He made that very clear. See, I'm not going to hire any of my son-in-laws at any of my companies. And he made directions to do that. So if you marry my daughter, don't mean you're gonna get a job. You got to have your own money. I'm just saying, I'm just saying the attitude of when you get it, and the larger the business is, the more money they make. It has nothing to do with the good of the country. It has nothing to do with helping people. Like I say, right now, gas prices, it has nothing to do with Biden. They don't care anything about Biden. They don't care about Trump. All they care about is making a profit. And that's worldwide. Remember, gasoline is sold worldwide. We sell all the junk oil to other countries. And then we buy good oil to make gasoline from someone else. All oil is not suitable for making gasoline out of. You do know that, right? You know. Different qualities of oil. And the oil that can be refined the cheapest to make it into gasoline, that is the oil that they make gasoline out of. The oil that people use for fuel oil and other stuff there that they burn more directly. That's the cheap stuff. And it's going to be a useless fuel very shortly because it's so inefficient.
Mhm.
You know, I put up some solar lights yesterday. You think about it. You have rechargeable batteries that are in a solar panel that every time the sun shines, it recharges that battery.
Mhm.
So that thing just goes into it could be on all.
But it's got to wear out at some point.
Well, at some point, you know, the efficiency of it wears out. But because with alkaline, they're making them last longer and longer. They last for years. Because those batteries that run those, they say they think those batteries that are in New York will last 1,000 years. Why can't we use that in houses?
Okay, gentlemen, this message is for you. This message is for you. Do you feel like you got low energy? Do you feel like your libido is all messed up? I don't really know what libido is, but it's got something to do with something. But do you feel like you don't have it? You're not energy. Your energy is gone. Well, you may have a case of low T. That's low testosterone. Okay. Now for $99, and that's it, I'm gonna tell you how you can change your whole life. It's called Montgomery Men's Health. For 99 bucks, you go over there, you can change your life. You remember not so many years ago when you were younger and you was hot to trot and you was nobody could stop you or top you. You remember those days? Not so long ago. Okay, take a little while for some of you other guys because it may have been a while ago. But call these guys up. Your T may be not where it needs to be. Okay. Now, like me, I went over there, had my T checked. They put my picture in the paper saying this is what a man is. Okay, I can't get that to everybody. Okay, but I'm saying you might want to give them a call at 334-440-3663. If nothing else, you'll find out where you stand. They also include a PSA test. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know what PSA, but I know it has something to do with the prostate and all that stuff. And they check your numbers and make sure you got one, I guess. But listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm a doctor, all right, but I'm a doctor. I have a BS and OS. Okay, I'm just saying. So let the real doctors help you with this problem. Okay, you may have. So if you don't have energy anymore and all that stuff, low T, testosterone. That's a chemical in a man's body. Although women have it too, but they just don't have as much as we got. And if they do got as much as we got, y'all need to ask them some questions. I'm just saying you might want to check that out. Anyway, Men's Health, 440-3663. No sense walking around with low T when you can be like me and have some high T, or at least better T. You ever had a T test there, Don?
No,
Okay, what makes you?
I don't have any of that.
You don't have no T left?
No, I don't have any of those problems.
Well, it ain't a problem. I mean,
I have good energy.
Okay. Well, me too. Yeah, so okay. But I had to go over there anyway just to make sure that the energy wasn't superficial and it was on the way out. So I went over there just to make sure
Okay.
that it was still there. All right. 860-1440 number. You want to give us a call up, talk to you, whatever on your mind. Good morning. Who is this? Ooh, almost made it through the whole day. Good morning. I'm pretty good. Mm-hmm. Now don't mess it up. No, I don't hear any. No, are you hearing anything? I'm just saying. It may be just in your mind. Are you hearing things or? Yeah. Okay. Okay. No. Ed, I hate to tell you that, but you actually have your own fan club. When I hang up on you, sometimes I get calls on my phone. You shouldn't have did that to Ed. Well, Ed's got to start being nice to me, and I'll be nice to Ed. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Your truth may not be the truth. So we both got our own truth then. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I agree with that statement. And you wanted to ask me that, but I was going to get smart with you. So yeah, I agree. Without God, all things exist. All things exist. That's right. So we good. We don't have. I don't know why you think I disagree with that, but I don't. God's a big old God. I mean, look at the earth and say. Actually, my son yesterday was asking me about the planets, and I remember about 3 of them since I never been to any of them, but he knew them all.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, really? So yeah. I said, okay then. So then they wanted to put me to the test. So I said, well, let me go on the internet and see what I can find. So today I got to report back to him the name of all the planets. Okay, 7. I thought they said Pluto wasn't a planet anymore though, but I don't know. I don't know who are we to decide what's a planet or not. I mean, we didn't make them. But anyway, I mean, we didn't make. Of course, that's why I don't believe we went to the moon. So the moon ought to be a planet.
Okay.
But we're just gonna leave that one alone because I don't think we ever went there. I think they've been jiving us for a long time. Cause I'm not figuring where we go to the moon for anyway. Anybody know?
I don't know.
We didn't bring that back but a rock. That's a lot of money to go all the way up there and bring back a rock. That's crazy. Anyway, good morning. So Donald, what's
your mind wonders sometimes?
Well, I got a wondering mind.
Yeah.
Because when you're exceptionally bright, sometimes you just can't keep it in.
I'm humble.
Okay, now you got me now. Anyway, Liz Cheney lost. I felt good this morning when I got up and saw that she lost. Good. Going against.
So let
Donald.
me get this straight.
Yeah.
Anyone who disagrees with Trump automatically deserves to be put out of office.
If they don't agree with his philosophy of make America number one,
no,
absolutely.
Did she say anything about his philosophy?
She attacked him, and what
did she attack? His actions on January 6th.
All he did on January 6th is gave a little speech and said, so that he didn't tell him to go. He didn't tell nobody to go down there and break in.
Caused January 6th.
Okay, well then why don't we say then we can put something.
Someone has to be accountable for January 6th.
Why?
That's what she said. What do you mean why?
Why? It's our government, our house.
So it's going now. Someone needs to be accountable for what's happening with the rhetoric.
Who's going to be accountable to what's happening to us?
What is happening to us?
So the guy gets in the White House, first thing he does is kill people's jobs. We just signed a bill a few minutes ago called the wait a minute. It's called the Inflation Reduction Act, and every price in God's name is going up. Who's going to be responsible to us for that? I am. Okay.
That is a belief.
So what? Wait a minute. Okay. Wait. No. See this right here? On August the 4th, there's a company here. There's a company here who gives insurance to their company. Right? Insurance. Right now, they're paying $64 a pay period. Guess what's going to happen? September 1st.
What does
it goes up to $129?
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you
tomorrow.
That's their choice. No. You don't have a choice when you got a family. When you got to buy insurance, you don't have a choice.
No,
you got to have insurance for your kids.
Well,
you don't have a choice. And then right now,
I have Medicare, so
next week, on the 1st of January, on the 1st of September.
And why is that?
Right now,
ask you this.
it's
why
$64 right now
why
every pay period.
That?
Because they gluing us to that.
Who is?
Because that idiot in the White House signed giving all this money away.
To who?
I don't know, but I'm not getting any of it.
Okay. Well, you're having unrelated items.
I ain't getting none. Somebody getting the money.
What? A company charges that, and your share is because that's what the company wants to do. It has nothing to do
listen.
with
listen. Yes, it does. You cannot keep putting money out here in our economy with nothing to back it. Yes, they are responsible.
So what you're saying there, you're giving a class in economics that has nothing to do with economics.
What's
doing with
inflation is caused by government. Inflation is caused by government and the unfiltered money that they keep giving out.
Economics is a subject that is
economics is a theory.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a theory, but
It's a theory.
you cannot flood the market with billions of
No,
dollars,
you just gave a
trillions
theory.
of dollars.
You just gave a theory.
You can't do it.
Look, businesses can do what they want.
And
Because
we
you know
pay
what?
for
And
it.
then they can blame someone else for it.
Right, and we pay for
And
it.
you know what? I bet check the profit margin of that very same company.
Okay.
If you want to say it's inflation, check the profit margin of that very same company that you're talking about.
Here's some,
Look at their profit margin.
Here's something from Community Action. Somebody over there, insurance is going up. It's going from $64 a pay period to $129 for one person. Okay. An employee plus one person.
And why
is
is
going
that?
Wait a minute. It's going from $381 to $763.
Who is the insurer?
I don't know who the insurer is.
Well, why? If you can't name the insurer, don't say what it is.
Oh, wait. I'm looking here. Blue Cross Blue Shield.
And why is Blue Cross Blue Shield doing that?
I don't know. You tell me why it has to go from $537 a pay period to $1,075 pay period.
Well,
who the hell's can afford that?
I don't know.
Because they keep putting all kind of money out here, and they think that they missing out on their share.
Okay. Well, I get my share of Medicare. Okay.
Medicare, what's that?
Medicare is my insurance.
Okay. So I'm paying for your insurance.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I paid for my insurance all those years I worked.
Good morning. Who's this? Okay, man, you can't be calling back again.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Who's this? See, this is why. This is why I hang up. See, this is why I hang up on him.
I might agree with.
Good morning.
He had a good point.
Okay.
Okay.
Good morning. Well, she supported that kangaroo court up there, that January 6th commission, and they can lie on you. You don't get a chance to put your own witnesses on the stand, and it's a kangaroo court.
It's not a court.
It is a court. It's a court of public opinion.
It's just
It's
a
a
report.
court. It's a court of public opinion. They're trying to skewer this guy in the public, so he can't ever run for office again.
Did any of those persons who gave their affidavits lie?
Yes.
So you're saying that the person from Georgia, who had a phone call, then he repeated what was said on the phone call.
And what was wrong with that? What was wrong with the phone call? The president said, "Y'all cheating me. You need to find more votes." And we found out a couple weeks ago. Guess what? In Georgia right now, they're under investigation because they did do wrong things.
The bottom line, and you will always have this point. I mean, this is really a mute point.
That's right.
But you will always have that point where you'll bring up these. Oh, today Rudy Giuliani goes to Georgia.
Okay. They cheated. They cheated Trump.
And what proof do you have?
Had all kind. First of all, the state of Michigan says you cannot send absentee ballots out to anybody unsolicited. They sent thousands of them out unsolicited. Philadelphia, that same thing. They did a lot of things that they shouldn't have done, all in the name of
John Hannity.
All in the name of COVID. All in the name of COVID.
Is there any state that has proof that the outcome would be different?
Yes, they do.
Where is it?
Well, it's too late now. It's irrelevant because they already screwed the guy. So it's irrelevant now. They screwed the guy.
Well, it is relevant because if you can prove there has been
they
no
cheated.
Proof. What state cheated?
That Georgia cheated. Michigan cheated.
What proof?
Philadelphia cheated.
What proof do you have?
I'll be back tomorrow with that proof.
Okay.
Anyway, gotta go. Time's up. Let me take one more. Good, you got 30 seconds. Good morning, quickly. Well,
that didn't take 10 seconds.
Yeah, that didn't take 10 seconds. I appreciate you sticking to the rules. We'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. See ya.
Yeah, it's been entertaining today. Yeah. I got some laughs on you and the mayor. Oh, man.
I'll never change my mind about that. They screwed that man,
Okay.
big time.
Okay.
Now,
no amount of evidence can convince an idiot.
If you would ask me the question, is there any proof that would show that the cheating that they did would have changed the outcome, I could not in the affirmative say so.
So that's the bottom line.
Right. It may be, but Biden would have won, but they still cheated.
Let me ask you this. How is it possible that, and this is where it can get really, really screwed up. How is it possible